Hi, my name is Nicole Lynn, and I'm the lead for Team SC1. We're going to give you a little bit of background on ourselves so you can get to know us a little bit better, and then we're going to walk you through our approach and our project plan. So I have 2 years of project management experience where I improve processes, streamline projects, and then I have experience working with food retailers and suppliers, and right now at GW I'm taking a lot of supply chain management classes, including forecasting and analytics.
Hi, afternoon. My name is Nathan Morris. Similar to Nicole, I also have a background in project management. Working the past 5 to 7 years in both defense and financial services doing systems integration, system design, and supporting business critical systems for large industries here in the US.
Hi everyone, I'm Shivan Agrawal. I have a background in information technology. I've worked in India in the IT industry for 5 years, serving clients from the telecom industry, human resource management systems, as well as the distribution channels in retail industry. Here at GW, my main concentration is towards data analytics, and I've been taking a lot of courses for supply chain responsiveness and just the supply chain logistics. So I hope to really work with you and provide some good work for you guys.
Hello, my name is Amanda Cassidy. I have about 5 years cumulative experience in project management. 3 of those years I spent in West Africa doing a lot of small enterprise and large-scale enterprise development. So I had a lot of great exposure to supply chain management and some of the issues that are involved, and I'm really looking forward to working with you.
Hi, my name is Todd Tannick. I have experience as a cost analyst accountant working for a manufacturing company that made oil and gas compressors. I also served as leader of the inventory function at that role as well. Additionally, as a public accountant, I've prepared financial statements and also done financial statement analysis for a variety of manufacturing companies. And also here at GW, I also am working towards a certificate in business analytics. So I'm hoping to apply some of that to our project here. I'm now going to pass it off to Nicole, and she's going to talk about our project scope.
Thanks, Todd. So we have 4 objectives of this project based on the information that you've provided us. The first objective is to assess the bottlenecks in meeting the fluctuating consumer demand. Secondly, we're going to look at the supply chain responsiveness and flexibility and look at it from a cost perspective. Third, we're going to analyze the robustness of the EDCM system. And then lastly, we're going to benchmark the process with other companies in the automotive industry. So next I'm going to turn it over to my colleague Amanda, who's going to talk about the approach that we're going to take.
Thanks, Nicole. So we decided to take a very comprehensive approach called the Lean Agile approach, which is a combination of the Lean approach and the Agile approach. So what the Lean Agile approach does is it targets companies very similar to Mahindra & Mahindra, products with high product complexity, faster response time needed to changing customer demand. It's used for enhancing capabilities to increase or decrease volume and considerably lower costs as it relates to customer demand. And lastly, it improves lead time so it can get quicker, it can get to the customer faster. So within this approach, we want to look most notably at volume, product, and process of Mahindra & Mahindra system and see how we can best reduce response time and minimize inventory within these tasks. And now I'm going to pass on to Siobhan, who will talk about our major tasks.
Thanks, Amanda. So, as far as the project goes, we've divided the entire project into 5 major or high-level tasks. We would obviously be starting with understanding the current system that exists within Mahindra & Mahindra right now, which is the EDCM system. So, we would like to first identify all the various components and make sure that we understand every single aspect of the current process. Secondly, after we've understood the process, we'll move further and analyze the current process to understand what the bottlenecks, what the shortcomings and issues with the current system are. Beyond that, we'll move on to identifying the possible solutions and the methodologies that we can use and some of the solutions we can possibly implement. So we would like to identify a primary and an alternative solution, for which our primary approach is going, as Amanda mentioned, is going to be Lean Agile, but we'll also be looking at Agile and Lean approaches by themselves. After this particular point, we would actually move on to collecting data from secondary sources as well as from your existing systems, which would help us in our analysis and actually back up the possible solutions that we are trying to recommend. This would help us to get to our final stage, which would be to provide final recommendations for you based on the solutions and the analysis that we've done, and do a business value analysis, which would help us to showcase how these recommendations would help your business improve and help Mahindra in greater cost savings and greater efficiency. So that's all about the major tasks. I am now going to move on to Todd, and Todd is going to take you through the cost and benefit analysis.
Thanks, Siobhan. So the main benefit of this Agile approach is that it's going to allow Mahindra to be more agile downstream and more lean upstream. What that means is that Mahindra is going to be able to cut down on its inventory costs from a downstream perspective, and also be more responsive to customer demand from the upstream part of its operations. The benefit metrics that we're going to use is to measure the lead time to the customer to see if that is improved as a result of these implementations. And we're also going to do a forecasted cost analysis to see if we can cut down on the costs that Mahindra is saving from its downstream operation. So the major costs of implementing this Agile system is the added cost that's going to come from implementing a new system, as well as the added time that's going to be required to implement the new system throughout the organization. I'm now going to pass it off to Nathan, and he's going to talk about the project plan.
Sure. Thanks, Todd. So as Shiva mentioned earlier, for our major tasks we identified, we took a look at what kind of process could we use for a project plan that would be most cohesive to achieving all the results that Todd and Nicole and Amanda just shared with you. So our first approach was really taking a look at the current process of both the EDCM system, the time it takes to deliver these products, and gathering all the data we need to really put together some proposed solutions, and then performing some testing on those to see how valid they would be. So our project plan is really broken up into 4 phases. First is to learn about the current process. The second is to analyze the current process through the collection of data and communication with you. The third is to propose solutions, so our team will go off and think about what are 3 or 4 or 5 possible solutions to these problems, identifying the best one that we think is the strongest alternative, and then performing hypothesis testing and other methods to validate our results before recommending it to you as final recommendations, and then sharing those with you in a final integrated report and presentation sometime around May before we come to see you in India. So our project plan, the Gantt chart, is kind of all laid out with the prerequisites we have based on that 4-phase approach to how we're going to approach this project. And I'll turn it back over to Nicole to wrap up.
So again, we're team SC1, and this is our project plan. We want to thank you for this opportunity, and we look forward to working with you